Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another round of the Galactic Podracing Championship for 2023. I'm Game Draco, joined by Roni, and we
Hello.
have Health versus Goofbrush.
Well, the first track, as you can see, is going to be Baru Coast. It's a very interesting track to see. I don't think I expected this to be the first track. But
No, I don't expect
what we
this
got.
either. And both are going with Ben, who's really difficult to use here.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these players are pretty high level. They probably, like, immediately, as soon as they saw Baru Coast, were like, oh, I got to use Ben. I don't think there was even a question for them.
Yeah. I like to remark that using Ben on this track is like trying to use a dragster on a Formula One track.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. This might be easily one of the hardest Ben tracks. Like, there's a very strong argument for a long time about whether or not Ben was even optimal here, but he won out in the end.
This is the hardest track to do with Ben where he's optimal.
So I believe Goofbrush is favored on probably most of the tracks in the game in this matchup here. Certainly on this one.
Yeah, Hellfire did not have much confidence going into this.
All right, and we
Well,
are
this
off.
is the start of the race, it looks like.
All right, got a quick sync pause coming in here.
Yeah.
And they look pretty clean so far. Pretty much dead even.
See Goofbrush pulling ahead a little bit now.
Yeah, I think he's taking a slightly better line.
Well, this part can be really dicey with Ben because you have to grind the walls. These walls can easily kill you.
This is the crucial section here. Ooh! Goof taking a little bit of a harsh landing. Gonna put him behind a tiny bit. But
Still
overall,
looks like
both players
he's in
did
the
very
lead.
well. Oh, Goof losing that boost there is also gonna hurt. So it looks like Hellfire's taking maybe half-second lead.
It's hard to tell.
Now rounding into the city section. Definitely not free. Never is. Nothing on these tracks is. And on lap 1, it looks like 2/10 of a lead for Hellfire right now.
Yeah.
So almost negligible. It's pretty much dead even.
Uh-oh!
Oh, and that's gonna really hurt. Yeah, that's a pretty common place to die. The tournament record here, I believe, is a 353. I believe it's yours, Mike, actually. Although Damaray did mention getting a 350 or 351, but that was technically a skips because even though he didn't do the skip, skips were allowed, so. Anytime under 4 minutes is considered extremely good.
Pretty much. Agree.
Yeah, for sure, with both of them crashing.
Oh,
And oh no, another death for Hellfire. This is really not what you want to see. Hellfire probably thinks that they've already completely lost. Of course, Goof has already died.
Goof hasn't died at all yet.
But he hasn't, I'm pretty sure I saw him die. Because he got a 121 this lap.
Oh, yeah. Not so sure, I didn't see it. 126, that's gotta hurt.
126 is not fun with the 2-death lap. So Goof is ahead by a little bit more than a full death here, I think. So it's gonna take one more death from Goof to probably even things out. It could easily happen because this is a very difficult track.
There it goes.
And there's the one death. Still not entirely even. Still a decent lead for Goof, but that could easily be made up. Probably about a 2-3 second lead at this point. We're quickly running out of places for Goof to mess up.
Yeah. Oh, this track is so hard with Ben, you can get killed at practically every point on the track.
Indeed. Even, like I said, the city section can be very tricky as well. Ooh, that was sketchy. But it looks like Goof is going to make it in just under 4 minutes.
Yep.
Oh, and a final death from Hellfire just to nail it in.
Oh,
That's really unfortunate. You can see a little bit of the anger there from Hellfire.
Full 10 seconds behind. That's gotta hurt.
Hellfire is a little bit salty about that one, but you know, that's how this goes. It's a very difficult game.
Very difficult track too.
Absolutely. One of the top 5 hardest. Especially if you're gonna use Ben.
Oh my god, Hellfire just said in chat, this game sucks.
Alright, we're on to the ban stage. Hellfire has permabanned Abyss.
Vengeance banned from Goofbrush.
Howler Gorge is taken out by Hellfire.
Gravine Gateway banned from Goofbrush.
Yeah, the Gravine Gateway ban is no surprise at all. We got Hellfire temp banning Bull's Roar.
Winter Classic temp ban from Goofbrush.
And now Hellfire shall pick where we're going next. I bet they'll have something interesting up their sleeve. At least I hope. I don't know for sure. That'd be really awesome if they did. We're going Mongaza Speedway. That's a very interesting pick. Mongaza Speedway is the shortest track in the game. This is going to be very fast. You're going to want to keep your eyes on the screen at all times. Which honestly you should be doing anyway, so I don't know why you weren't. But get your eyes on the screen because it's very short, about 40 seconds. And this is probably going to be the closest thing to RNG that we get. It is obviously skill dependent, but it's a very easy track to just lose 1/3 of a second on, and you know, to consistently get this track is very difficult.
Yeah. Never can be sure what happens here, and it's a very track in the game, and that's what kind of makes it such a track, because one slight mistake and you lose.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. Any lost boost, any scraped wall, and of course any death could easily result in an L, just all on their own. It's a very bold track pick. I believe Goof has even referred to it as the MGS mini game or something like that. Like it's a little mini game inside the game because it's just how particular it is.
So we have a mini game in Mongaza Speedway, and then we have a mini boss in Zugga Challenge's Dozer at the end.
There's a lot of miniatures in this this game.
Only on Mongaza, it seems.
At least, yeah, it's true. Every good spice mine needs its little tracks and its little dozer drivers.
Dozer awareness, as we like to call it.
Yeah, getting some very good times out of both players in this warm-up. Yeah, it's very easily basically a coin flip. But I think there's a slight edge to whichever of them is more consistent to this track. If Hellfire's picking it, they've probably practiced it. But I think Goof has the faster PB here. I could be wrong though. I should double check that.
I think Goofbrush is second to Dom on this track.
All right, and they're off.
Well, there was some bad scrapes from Hellfire. Took it wide.
Yeah, a little bit suboptimal. But they're both coming through with very, very fine lap 1 times. Difference mainly due to heat. And both of them coming through with very solid times in lap 2. But again, Hellfire looking a little bit faster, a little bit more heat. Oh, it's going to be a photo finish here. And Hellfire takes it to 39.958. That's really cool. You'll love to see that. 2/10.
Oh my goodness. You'd almost never see 39s. I think that's only the second 39 ever done or something.
I believe so. At the very least, Hellfire is the second person to get a 39. I don't know if Dom's done it more than once. Oh, Ace has also done it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot ACS for sure.
Awesome.
Hellfire just didn't strike out. I just picked it because it was short. Oh, that was funny.
I feel like that's like most people's reason for picking MGS. They're just like, yeah, get it out of the way. All right, so here comes the next bands. Goof taking out Juan Sandage.
Sandage ban. Is we gonna see skips or is this a troll move? Executioner ban from Hellfire.
Oh my god.
Doug Derby skips with
Doug
no
Derby
ban.
with skips and no Juan Sandage.
Oh man. Juan Sandage is like the easiest one to pull this off with, so it's gonna be a tough one.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think the play here is possibly Mars, possibly Bumpy because of the acceleration.
I also see Neva and Bullseye used.
Yeah, Neva is also a good pick here, I think. Really
Oh my
curious to see
God.
what Goof has planned out here.
Hellfire is like so cringe. Can I just DNF now?
Looks
He
like
wants
Bullseye.
to forfeit. They want the forfeit before he even have a chance.
Probably gonna
Nope.
be Bullseye here for It's gonna be Bullseye from Goof. They're switching
Totally
to
Bumpy.
Arc Bumpy Roos. Oh, here we go. You'll love to see my man Bumpy.
Oh man. Bumpy is like the worst handling pod in the game.
That acceleration and a decent climbing ability might make him a decent pick, but
Slide?
oh, slide. Yeah, I think this is looking like a W for Goof, even though we haven't started the track yet.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hellfire is really early in this.
Although Goof is not immune to making mistakes like that. So
Okay.
who knows? Oh, we got low poly coming in from Hellfire. Looks like low poly Bullseye. This is gonna be another short one. Doug Derby skips is kind of silly, as you've been seeing from the from Goof's warm-ups. You basically ramp up that little wall, flip around the start line, and it counts the lap over if you do it right.
There we go. Hellfire just go with the full track.
Oh yeah, Hellfire just attempting to take it the regular way. Goof has already gotten one lap to count. Although the death should still be faster than doing full track. Even if he dies every lap. And there's a second lap from Goof.
There it goes.
And there's the third lap. So that's a W for Goof. And Hellfire is just going to take it the rest of the way, the full track. Probably going to wind up with a 140 or something. Yeah, you love to see that double lap on the lap 3 there, just doing the quick flip around. It's definitely tricky, but very fun to watch. You always love it. And Hellfire coming up on the last corkscrew here. And on to the finish line. Yeah, 140, not a bad time at all with Bullseye.
Hey, goofbrush taunting in chat with Rats going, got him.
Got him. Yeah, that's
Oh,
rather
man,
unfortunate. We are now 2-1. Hellfire temp banning Ben Quadeneros. So that's fun. That's interesting. Possibly might be seeing some interesting pod picks on this one as well. Yeah, I think without that death, that would have been a tourney record for Doug Derby skips. Goof has temp banned Zugga Challenge.
See what Hellfire picks. Inferno.
Alright, just looks like Vanilla Inferno with no Ben, which is very interesting because Ben is the optimal pick on this track. So it'll be interesting to see what they go for here. There's a lot of good options.
Yeah, there's a bunch of options. You have Bullseye, Elon Mac, Mahonic, Bulls, Vito, Mars.
I think Beto might be the bravest pick, because not quite as fast as Bulls, but handles almost just as poorly. I think Bulls or Bullseye are the picks here, depending on what you want to go for. In tourney, I would always pick Bullseye here, I think. I don't think I'm ever picking Bulls, unless I've specifically prepped it. Looks like Hellfire wants to go for Mars, which is also a very solid pick.
Both going with Mars, it looks like.
Yeah, Goof opting to switch to Mars after a little bit of warming up revealed that Bullseye kind of fragile. And that's one of the big drawbacks of Bullseye.
Well, also, he's a bit slower than Mars, Elon, and Mahonic.
The lack of boost power is going to come in on those long straightaways at the beginning and ending of every lap.
Yeah. Looks like Goofbrush got thrown for a loop here.
Oh, Goof looking like switching back to Bullseye. Looks like Goof is probably going to end up sticking with Bullseye. Or switching last second back to Mars. Alright, yep, Goof picking Mars.
Here we go.
And here we go.
I have no idea what to expect from this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this could be very interesting to watch. Coming around the first long straightaways, looks like they're taking basically the same lines and the same boosts, same heat. But
Mars
this
is
back half
so
of the
wide
track
here, it
is-
can be really dicey to use him, particularly in this later section of the track.
Yeah, absolutely, this is killer. Both of them opting to take the shorter but more difficult line. Looks like Hellfire is using a little bit more heat and building up a tiny bit of a lead. Which is pretty solid. Gonna take a 49.7, which is a very, very good lap time with Mars.
Oh!
That's a very rare death. I don't think I've ever seen that particular death on that little lip there. That's so unfortunate. And now without Goof dying, it's gonna be it's also a terrible spot to die in as well because you want to be boosting across that long straightaway as much as you can. So that's gonna lose quite a bit of time. And we can see Goof just looking so solid through this whole section.
Taking it a bit more cautiously.
Gonna come through.
Oh, ricocheted!
Oh, and another death from Hellfire. I think the nerves might be getting to them.
I think Hellfire is getting a bit banged up. Whoa! And into the lava!
Goof falling in the lava. That could definitely even things out a little bit if Hellfire hadn't taken those earlier second death, excuse me. Then perhaps they would even be back in the lead.
Ooh! That was
nasty
a bad
bonk
scrape.
as well. But just doesn't look like there's
Cheating
much.
death.
Doesn't look like there's much room left in the track for Goof to mess up. This last section here probably is it. Whoa, that was brave. That is sketchy from Goof there.
Oh,
and
no,
Hellfire taking a little bit of a swim in the lava.
Yeah.
Ooh. And I think the frustration is getting in a little bit. All right, Hellfire now temp banning Ben Quadneros again.
We're going to Bunta training.
Yeah, Bunta training course with no Ben. So the optimal pick here is Bulls, and I would be surprised if anybody does anything else. Bunta training course is the first track in the game. It's probably the one that everybody who's familiar with this game is familiar with because it's mainly the first one you play. But also, I think the most submitted track to the leaderboards. People like to play this as their first track. And indeed, both players going in with Bulls here. I love Bulls. Yeah. Dom in chat is correct. 137 is about the expected time with Bulls Brewer here, assuming clean racing. Although, yeah, Bulls is indeed the one with awful handling.
Yeah.
He is very, very hard to control, even in the best of times.
Yeah, one of the worst handling pods in the game.
Absolutely. You're going to need a lot of sliding in order to be able to get him around the corners. This track doesn't have any really bad corners. It has one pretty big turn, and that's about it. So Bowles' handling won't come in too much. It's still a big difference from Ben. If you're not used to Bowles, it's a very big change.
Yeah. Oftentimes you have to stagger the slide to keep him in control.
Yes, he is the primary pick after Ben is banned due to his incredible boost thrust, which, as you can see, is regularly taking him up to almost Ben speeds. Bowles is faster than any other pod than Ben.
Yeah. Boost thrust is 390, just 10 below Ben, which is why he is such a fast pod.
All right, I think the countdown went, so we should be getting the beginning of the race here as the players are getting into it.
Here we go.
Ooh. Goof missing the starting boost there. That's a little unfortunate. But all things considered, it's still pretty equal. This is probably the crucial section here. It's very hard to take this line optimally. And up on this second jump.
Both get it.
Yep.
This is getting close.
They're pretty much dead even. There looks like a 1/10 lead for Hellfire.
Oh my god!
And that could possibly be what swings it in Hellfire's favor. As Goof taking a death on the first jump. I was about to comment on how Hellfire had a slightly better line, but I think that's a little bit more definitive. Yeah, 36-second lap is not optimal at all. It's not what you want to see. You don't want to die in any circumstance. And coming through. Looks like Hellfire is going to take this one.
Oh, good. I didn't want to curse anything because I figured 38 with Bowles, that's really good. I think that's a new Bowles record.
That's a very solid time for tournament.
I think that's a new Bowles tourney record.
Yeah, that is definitely a very much needed win for Hellfire.
Yes. Yeah, that is the first sub 40 run with Bowles in tournament. King Bean Dip had the previous record at a 1:49.14, so he beat it by 2 seconds. Cooper's talking about his crash being a tourney first.
Yeah, it could very well be. That was a very interesting death on the landing. I don't think I've never died that way, I think, but I don't really use Bowles on Boonta training. All right, now Goof is temp banning Bowles Roar. Perhaps a little bit salty about the events.
NW Mountain Run from Hellfire.
Decent temp ban. And we got, ooh, looks like Sebulba's Legacy Skips is coming in. Ooh, we get to do Sebulba's Legacy Skips. Gonna be a Ben mirror, first of all. They're both gonna pick Ben Quadraneros here. And the skip on this track is a very minor skip. It's not like the Doug Derby skip that we saw previously, which basically skipped the entire track. This skip is gonna be a lot smaller. It's basically just a wall ride to kind of cut out one corner. It only saves a couple of seconds, but if you haven't been practicing it, then it can be a little tricky. Yeah, I think there is a Sebulba's Legacy skip that is just that is basically TAS only. I think Yam's right about that. In terms of what you're going to be seeing in tournament, looks like Hellfire is just opting to do the full track in the warm up here. It's not a huge deal. I mean, it only saves a couple of seconds per lap, but obviously that can be really huge if you're very similar skill levels. Like, if it saves maybe 2 seconds per lap, so that's like 6 seconds on the full track, which is quite a lot. That would easily swing a race in any direction.
can be a little. The skip can be a bit tricky because if you don't hit it right, it will blow you up.
Yeah, for sure. It can be very tricky. It's definitely one of the easier skips, but it can definitely get you when you're not expecting it. And here we go.
Twitchy start from Hellfire.
Yeah, a little bit. But they both look pretty solid overall, coming through the first part of this track. Into the little cave here. This can be a very killing you part of the track.
Yeah.
Taking a little wide there from Hellfire. Oh! Nope, and Hellfire is going to die on it. That's very unfortunate. Took it a bit too wide and wasn't able to get the height needed to clear it. Ooh, and taking a little bonk there as well. That could easily seal it, but Goof could still die on laps 2 or 3 here. It's definitely not free, but that's a brutal place to die on. Oh, and there goes Goof dying on it, although in a slightly better fashion, and Hellfire taking another death as well. This is very interesting to watch. A lot of death happening.
Yeah.
They both probably think they're losing at this point.
Oh, no!
And Hellfire taking a nasty bonk into a death. Yeah, if you scrape a wall in this game, your turning in that direction gets disabled for about a second. And that can really mess you up in scenarios like that where you just fly straight into a wall.
No!
Oh, no!
Pretty sure Hellfire is getting tilted.
Yeah. This is painful to watch at this point.
And
Goof is going to take it, and we're going to match
point
point.
for Goofbrush.
And Hellfire finally crossing the finish line here. A little bit angry, a little bit mad. I couldn't even count how many times Hellfire died, I'm going to be honest.
Here we go. Hellfire banning Anakin. Is this a throwaway ban or is this a ruse? Boot to classic ban from Goofbrush.
Let's see what Hellfire has in store. Probably with banning Anakin and Goof banning Boonta Classic. Aqualaris Classic with no forces. It's going to be a bend mirror on AQC. Now that's an interesting pick for sure. Aqualaris Classic is a very fun track. It's one of the, I guess you'd call it, a lot of people call it like the starter track. It's one of the first tracks that new players get told to grind on because it's very good for teaching you fundamentals. And in this case, that basically means that whoever races the cleanest is the favored to win here. So this is an interesting pick for Hellfire.
Yeah.
Goof is definitely favored on this track.
This is one of the qualifying tracks too.
Yeah, I know Goof is one of only a handful of people to have a 235 on this track as their PB. Obviously, I don't think he could do that consistently, but...
Both looks like they're bringing an AI to trigger the doors better.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, if you bring like Hold Fast with you to this track, he will move some of the doors around so that you can take a slightly better line on laps 2 and 3. That's a good point. Goof does often complain about AQC, so there is a logic to it.
Countdown has started on the potentially final match.
Indeed. Goof could easily take this, and if he does, that'll be the end. If not, he'll get one more pick of his own, possibly 2 more if Hellfire wins that one. So we should be starting momentarily. Goof unlocking the secret AQC skip. Classic. Oh. This game's really great. I love it. Oh, and it looks like Hellfire opting for, is that mirror mode?
That sure looks like mirror mode.
Fun. You don't often see mirror mode in tournament. Yeah, mirror mode is it's the same track, just mirrored. So this is gonna be very weird. This is so weird to watch.
Yeah.
Taking me a second to figure out where Hellfire is. But it looks like Goof is taking slightly better lines at this point.
It's like they're
And,
converging when they're so close to each other.
I know, they're like turning in the same direction. Well, they're coming up on the
Diverging
figure
and
eight now. This is the
converging.
crucial part of the track. Both looking pretty good. I think Goof looking a little bit more solid. And about a 3/10 or 4/10 lead for Goof at this point. Yeah, you are allowed to pick mirror, I'm pretty sure, because it's the exact same thing. It's just flipped horizontally
Yeah.
across one of the axes.
Yeah. You can't force mirror mode, but you can choose it voluntarily or do it with a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no advantage to picking it. So it's fine. Just very strange.
That splitting image
It's
seems
not
to be causing Hellfire to lose a little bit.
Yeah, this is definitely like just from how they're playing, Goof is taking a pretty decent lead here. About 2 seconds at this point. Basically, Goof needs to die if Hellfire is going to have any shot at winning here.
And it's building.
Yeah. Goof playing it very well and doing the good heat strats as well. I was knocking on him in the warm-up for that, but he's doing it right.
Passing Clegg.
Yeah, forcing mirror mode would just be so annoying. And the final figure eight for Goof. Goof looking like making a run for yeah, very solid time, 2:36.7. That's not quite a tournament record, but it is very close.
Like a
Maybe-
10th off.
Yeah, tournament record is a 2:36.5. Oh, apparently Hellfire was didn't intend to turn on mirror mode.
Oops!
So that was something. Welcome,
Goofbrush.
Goofbrush.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Very nice time on AQC there at the end. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
And
Hey,
Hellfire,
Hellfire.
welcome in.
Another terrible day, like usual.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Positivity and happiness is what I always say.
That was
Well,
really sad.
I mean,
Yeah, perhaps.
you got some good picks though. I was
I mean,
definitely
they were
not
all
ready
just
for-
random. I wasn't really thinking. Just
I
trying
mean,
to
I
get
definitely
through.
wasn't ready for Inferno.
Apparently, I wasn't either, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some very interesting picks from both of you, I think.
Did you go Mars though?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was undecided between Mars and Bullseye.
Mars
Like-
just wins automatically against Bullseye. I think.
Not really. Like, it was more of a comfort thing. Because, like, I think Mars is like a second or 2 seconds faster. It's like basically nothing compared to how comfortable you are. So, but Bullseye, like, if you're not used to either of them, like Mars is like really wide and like awkward to use, but Bullseye is just like he overturned too much, so I switched to Mars at the last second. Yeah, I mean Bullseye can get like 225, 224, so it's like he's really good there. I'm sure like Mars gets like 222. I'm not really sure. 223.
Another interesting pick was the Doug Derby skips.
Yeah, I really wanted to get the double lap skip there, which I did manage to do, although I failed it once. But yeah, Bullseye's really good there. Like, I think my PB in practice was 27, and Bullseye's like really consistent there for the double lap skip, as consistent as you really can be. But yeah, I wish my SL went a bit better. It was really consistent for me in the warm-ups, but I think I
Yeah,
failed it
both
twice.
of you had pretty major struggles on that track.
I kind of knew that was like a weak spot for Hellfire. It was a weak spot for me as well until like 2 hours ago. What else was there? Oh yeah, Bunter
With
training.
Bulls and
first.
Bunter training. That very funny death.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could die there. On the first jump, I landed early on the hill, and then I died from like the slope, just like riding down the slope.
Probably because of Bull's awesome traction.
Yeah, like
That's funny.
I've done that with Ben and I haven't died, so must be a polls thing.
It was a bizarre gif. I didn't even know you could do it until I saw that right there.
Yeah, same. And then Brew Coast. I mean, Brew Coast went as average as I thought it would. I'm like capable of getting 449. Is that right? No, 349. But like everything always goes wrong when you try and pick it in tournament.
Yeah, I was pretty tilted after my lap 1. Well, no, lap 2 or something? I don't know. I died to the dumb shortcut where you just land and you die instantly.
Yeah.
I was just tilted after that.
My like lap 1 forest went like so bizarrely, like I've never really done that. And then I somehow managed to survive. Then I think I tried to brake on lap 2 and then I just died. And then I think lap 3 I died as well. I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was kind of rough. That's how it goes. I was also really was really hyped to see the MGS pick from Hellfire, and to have it work out as well.
I just wanted to get this match over with. I was tired of playing. Just pick the shortest course. I'm glad Goof helped out with another short pick.
Yeah, I was
Hey, you
like
did get
warming
good
up
training
on.
in Doug Derby in there, so getting the short tracks.
Yeah, I was warming up on MGS and I didn't even get a 39. That track is garbage.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the more idiosyncratic tracks in the game. It's kind of its own beast.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
really
good.
expect to get a 39, especially with the fuck up I did on lap 3. Like I had to
Yeah.
brake cancel like right near the end again or something.
My only other pick that I didn't get to do was the Bunter Classic with Mars skips.
Wow, thank God I didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I thought you might be unprepared for that.
I would have just DNF'd and just let you finish it at that point.
I mean, I'm not very good at it. It's just I know how to, like, there's a very specific way you have to do the skip, and I just happen to know how
Oh
to do
yeah, I
it.
tried that before and I couldn't get enough height or something. I think most of the time,
Yeah,
or like I died out of bounds for some reason. I can't remember.
you just have to like slide and delay the wall climb. But
You're
Yeah.
going to go on to advance. You're going to face Metallica Goofbrush, and you're going to face Home Run Losers Bracket Hellfire.
Nah, great.
I believe we should also shout out the next match, which will happen, which is going to be on Saturday, June the 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be Lightning Pirate versus Alaskalar. Channel has not been selected yet, so keep an eye out for where that's going to be. That'll be a very, very tight match as well, both pretty evenly matched, so make sure to tune in for that if you're available.
yeah, it's going to be a good match.
All right, well, I believe that's it. Thank you to Speed Gaming for the host, and thank you to our runners for being so cool and giving us a good show. Have a good night,
You're welcome.
everybody.
Bye.
Peace.
Good luck, everyone. May the force be with you.